Right now, you probably think you're sitting perfectly safe and entirely still. But the terrifying truth is you are hurtling through space at over 1,000 miles per hour along with the Earth's surface. If this giant planet suddenly slammed on the brakes, you wouldn't even have time to blink. Thanks to the law of inertia, your body, every skyscraper, and the entire Pacific Ocean would instantly be flung eastward at the speed of a rifle bullet. Before we uncover if you could survive this, hit subscribe to join our journey. No asteroids, no alien invasions. This is the ultimate apocalypse, created entirely by basic physics. Welcome to the day the Earth stopped spinning. The moment the Earth locks up, the atmosphere and everything on the surface absolutely do not. Thanks to Newton's first law of motion, things in motion stay in motion. At the equator, countries are spinning at over 1,000 miles per hour. That is Mach 1.3, significantly faster than the speed of sound. Imagine riding in a car at 1,000 miles per hour and slamming headfirst into a solid concrete wall with absolutely no seatbelt. In a fraction of a second, your body, your bed, your coffee cup, and the phone in your hand instantly become supersonic projectiles, firing directly eastward. Nothing stands in the way of this immense inertia. Unless an object is anchored miles deep into solid bedrock, it will be violently uprooted. Entire forests are flattened instantly, like dead grass under a massive lawnmower. The magnificent skyscrapers of New York, Dubai, and Shanghai were never engineered to withstand this catastrophic horizontal G-force. They snap at their foundations and collapse like fragile wooden building blocks in mere seconds. And the horror goes much deeper. The colossal momentum slamming into the planet's crust violently tears tectonic plates apart, triggering thousands of apocalyptic earthquakes simultaneously across the globe. So, did anyone survive this first minute? Surprisingly, yes, because rotational speed naturally decreases as you move away from the equator. The geography of survival is brutally unfair. If you happen to be standing exactly at the dead center of the North or South Pole, your rotational velocity is practically zero. While 90% of humanity is being obliterated at supersonic speeds, a few isolated researchers stationed at the South Pole might only feel a brief stumble or a minor tremor. They would look around in utter confusion, completely unaware that the rest of human civilization was just violently erased from existence. But their safety is only an illusion, because the sky is about to unleash absolute hell. The Earth's atmosphere has mass, and it possesses the exact same inertia. As the crust halts, this colossal blanket of air keeps flowing eastward at over 1,000 miles per hour. Let's put that into a horrifying perspective. The strongest cyclone ever recorded was Hurricane Patricia in 2015, packing winds of 215 miles per hour. The supersonic global windstorm triggered by the Earth stopping would be 5 times stronger. It will not just blow roofs off. These winds will literally shave the topsoil right off the planet, rip apart solid bedrock, and turn every piece of flying debris into a global blender. And it is not just the air. The oceans are entirely off their leash. Trillions of gallons of salt water are violently flung eastward. Blocked by continents, this creates coastal inundation on an extinction scale. On the west coasts of the Americas, Africa, or Europe, you are looking at a terrifying wall of water miles high, slamming into the landmass, instantly drowning everything in its path. Conversely, on the east coasts, the ocean bizarrely vanishes. The water is violently dragged away, exposing hundreds of miles of abysmal seafloor in mere minutes. Amidst this chaos is the deafening roar of friction. The extreme drag between the supersonic atmosphere and the suddenly stationary surface generates immense thermal energy. The air scraping against the ground becomes scorching hot, instantly igniting shattered forests mid-air and boiling the surface waters. Our planet is rapidly transforming into a violently boiling cauldron. Yet, the geographical torture of this world is just getting started. As the violent storms eventually settle, an eerie, dead silence falls over the planet. If you look at Earth from space, the familiar blue marble is completely unrecognizable. Most of us picture Earth as a perfect sphere, but it is actually flattened at the poles and bulging at the equator. For 4.5 billion years, the planet's rotation generated a massive centrifugal force, acting like an invisible gatekeeper. It pulled trillions of gallons of ocean water toward the equator, creating a liquid bulge about 5 miles high. But now, that magic trick is broken. With the centrifugal force erased, gravity becomes the absolute master of the world. Because the poles are slightly closer to the Earth's center, gravity pulls stronger there. The global oceans begin a massive, unstoppable migration. The water violently retreats from the equator, flowing north and south. Within weeks, the world map is radically redrawn. Sea levels at the equator drop by miles, exposing the abyssal ocean floor. South America, Africa, and Southeast Asia fuse together into one massive barren equatorial supercontinent, a horrifying Pangea 2.0. Conversely, the northern and southern hemispheres are completely swallowed by two colossal superoceans. Entire nations like Canada, Russia, Europe, and most of the United States sink deep into the dark abyss. Remember that peaceful research station at the South Pole? It is now entombed beneath thousands of feet of crushing, freezing water. But the bizarre nightmare does not stop at the oceans. The atmosphere, bound by the exact same gravitational rules, also migrates toward the poles. If you somehow survived and are standing on the new equatorial supercontinent, you will quickly realize a terrifying truth. You are suffocating. The air pressure here has plummeted. Taking a breath on this dry, newly exposed ocean floor now feels like gasping for oxygen in the stratosphere, high above the death zone of Mount Everest. And yet, an even slower, more agonizing death awaits. Even if you somehow survived the crushing oceans and the suffocating air, an even slower, more agonizing death awaits. Though the Earth has stopped spinning on its axis, it is still orbiting the Sun. This terrifying reality means a single day now lasts an entire year. The hemisphere facing the Sun is subjected to 6 months of relentless, scorching daylight. Surface temperatures skyrocket to hundreds of degrees Fahrenheit, violently boiling away whatever isolated lakes or rivers remain. Meanwhile, the dark hemisphere is plunged into a 6-month eternal night, triggering a brutal ice age where temperatures plummet far below zero. The only theoretical sliver of hope is the twilight zone, a narrow, shifting border of perpetual dusk caught between the scorching hellscape and the frozen wasteland. But to survive, you would have to constantly migrate, forever chasing this thin ribbon of twilight just to avoid being burned alive or frozen solid. Yet, even this desperate nomad existence is ultimately futile. Deep underground, the Earth's liquid metal core has also stopped its churning flow. The dynamo effect, the engine that generates our planet's protective magnetic field, completely shuts down. Without our magnetic shield, the sky is blown wide open. Deadly solar winds and lethal cosmic radiation begin bombarding the surface directly. Bit by bit, this relentless solar storm strips away what little atmosphere is left, blowing it out into the cold void of space. Our proud, vibrant planet is officially Marsified. It becomes nothing more than a dead, irradiated rock drifting lifelessly through the cosmos. Fortunately, thanks to the conservation of angular momentum, the Earth cannot suddenly slam on the brakes anytime soon. Its rotation is only slowing by about 1.8 milliseconds per century due to tidal friction with our moon. The universe has gifted us a beautifully balanced survival machine. This silent, invisible rotation is the heartbeat that sustains all life. So, the next time you sit peacefully sipping your coffee or scrolling on your phone, remember, you are absolutely not standing still. You are a passenger cruising through space at over 1,000 miles per hour. As long as this planet keeps spinning, we keep living. What did you think of this apocalyptic scenario? Drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more of our craziest science theories.